What if the person you love most could also become the thing that kills you? In a quiet, forgotten corner of rural Australia, far from the noise of the modern world, a story unfolds that turns love into something terrifying and desire into a weapon. This is Leviticus 2026, a film that doesn't just scare you, but makes you question what it means to be seen, to be wanted, and to be punished for it. We begin in a small, isolated town, a place where religion is not just faith, it is law. It controls everything, what people say, what they hide, and especially who they are allowed to love. In this town lives a teenage boy named Naim, quiet, observant, always holding something back. Naim has just moved here with his mother, Arlene, a woman who has found comfort in the strict arms of the local church. But for Naim, this place feels suffocating, like the walls are closing in. And then he meets him, Ryan, popular, confident, dangerous in the way only teenage boys can be. At first, they are just boys being boys, roughhousing in an abandoned mill, throwing rocks, wrestling on the dusty ground, laughing like nothing in the world matters. But something changes. A moment, a pause, a breath too close, and then they kiss. Not as a joke, not as curiosity, but as something real, something neither of them fully understands, but both of them feel. And just like that, everything changes. Because in this town, love like this is not allowed, not even a little. But what neither of them knows is that someone is already watching, and something much darker than judgment is about to be unleashed. Their secret doesn't stay secret for long. Ryan begins to act differently at school, distant, careful, as if every glance could expose him. And then Naim sees something he was never meant to see. Ryan with another boy, the pastor's son, Hunter. That moment breaks something inside Naim, not just jealousy, but betrayal, confusion, hurt. And in a desperate attempt to expose the truth, Naim makes a choice that he can never take back. He tells someone, and in a town like this, words are weapons. The church reacts immediately, not with understanding, not with compassion, but with control. They bring in a man known only as the deliverance healer, a traveling figure who claims he can cleanse the soul, purify desire, fix what they call sin. The boys are brought before him, surrounded by praying voices, flickering candlelight, and then the ritual begins. The healer lights a flame and speaks words that sound like prayer, but feel like a warning. 2 flames, one to defile, one to reform. And that is when everything goes wrong. Because this is not an exorcism, it is a curse, a punishment disguised as salvation. Ryan and Hunter collapse in pain as something unseen enters them, something that does not appear in mirrors and cannot be explained. But it can be seen, just not by everyone, only by the cursed. And it looks like the person they desire most. At first, they think it is hallucination. Ryan sees Naim. Hunter sees Ryan. Naim soon begins to see Ryan too. But something is wrong, because these versions are not right. They smile too long. They stand too still. They appear when no one else is around, and every time they get closer, something violent happens. The entity attacks. Not immediately, not loudly, but suddenly, without warning. A hand around the throat, a body thrown into darkness, a face that shifts between love and terror. The rule is simple. If you give in to desire, you die. And worse, no one else can see it. To the outside world, they are alone, talking to nothing, fighting air, screaming at shadows, which means no one believes them. Not their friends, not their teachers, and especially not Naim's mother. Arlene believes this is something else, something religious, something that must be corrected. So she sends Naim to the same treatment. And now, Naim becomes part of the curse. But there's something worse, because the entity that follows Naim looks like Ryan, the boy he loves most, the boy he fears most, and the boy who may not even be real anymore. Now Naim and Ryan are trapped in the same nightmare. Every meeting feels like a risk. Every touch feels like death waiting to happen. But they can't stay away from each other. They try. They really try. But love, or whatever this is, keeps pulling them back. Because the entity grows stronger the more they feel, the more they want, the more they resist, until reality and illusion begin to blur completely. Is that really Ryan standing in the dark, or is it the thing wearing his face? And the most terrifying question of all, what if it's both? The truth finally becomes clear. This curse was never about religion. It was never about punishment. It was about control, a way to turn love into fear and fear into obedience. Naim is forced to face a final choice: run away alone or stay with Ryan and risk everything. No final battle comes, no heroic exorcism, no simple victory, just a decision and silence and the lingering presence of something that never fully disappears. Because in the end, the real horror of Leviticus is not the monster. It is a world where love itself becomes dangerous. Leviticus 20:26 doesn't end like a typical horror film. It doesn't give easy answers, because some fears don't end when the movie does. They stay with you, quietly, in the dark, watching. If you enjoyed this breakdown, subscribe for more deep movie explanations and hidden story analysis. And tell me, would you survive a world where love itself becomes a curse?